Much to my surprise, there was a very emotional debate today about fuel efficiency and the future in the market. What's your take?
It is emotional because from my point of view, it's that what they're trying to do is actually drive the fuel efficiency over what the market demands are, and we're seeing that we're currently totally over tonnaged, and if they continue to push the regulations to try and achieve the fuel efficiencies, this is just going to compound the situation from a commercial point of view, and it's going to prolong the pain that the industry is going through now with the low charter rates. I don't have anything against fuel efficiency. I think it's a good thing, but there's a time and when to bring it in, and that is when we've got equilibrium in the market. And I think this is one of the reasons why it does get emotional, because effectively, we're all here to make the industry work, and we can't live with a continually soft market, which effectively causing a panic out there, people to go and order ahead of time when really there's no need for additional ships out there. And I think this is why the emotion is so high.
One of the concerns you mentioned had to do with power. Can you talk a little more about that?
Well, the EEDI actually will cause people to go along and try and get the minimum index number. By getting the minimum index number, that means effectively the cost effective, or as I would call it, the fuel tax, is that much reduced. So they will then design vessels to the minimum standard. And unfortunately, we don't govern the weather, and the weather is very unpredictable, and the sea is probably the most inhospitable environment to work in. And you do need to have a lot of power behind you. If, for instance, you're facing heavy waves, you've got crosswinds, etc., and you've got to maintain steerage way. If you don't have the power, you can't turn into the wind, etc., you could well broach. And this is a serious safety hazard for the ship, the crew, and the cargo. And this is what concerns me. I spent the beginning of my life at sea, and I have a huge respect for the sea. And what is happening now is that the scientists are deriving these things with no consideration to the practicalities of what the sea can throw up. And obviously this is why, I'm emotional about it, and I think anybody who has been to sea will be emotional about it.
Have you found that charterers are really interested in taking on these more fuel-efficient vessels?
No, the charterers are interested in doing the more fuel-efficient vessels. Today what we see is that there is a differential between the more fuel-efficient and the less fuel-efficient. There is a discount for the less fuel efficient, and but when you look at, for instance, the standard Chinese versus the standard Japanese ship, there's a difference of about 3 tons a day of a similar size of vessel. So if there is a Japanese ship available, a Chinese ship available going for the same cargo, depending on the operator, if it's the same operator, they'll take the Japanese ship. If it's a different operators, obviously they'll go to the quality of the operator. But there again, they'll say, well, I'll take your Chinese ship, but it will come at a discount. But the thing is that when you go out and purchase that vessel, you are paying extra 3 to 4 million for a Japanese vessel over and above what you're paying for a Chinese vessel. So the upfront cost is there as well. And this has to be factored in when you're doing your investment calculations. So when you're doing your business model, you'll factor these things in and you'll take that decision. Where am I going to build this ship? I'm going to build it in China where I save X, or am I going to build it in Japan where I have to pay Y, but there is the potential that I can get a better charter rate, albeit the differential is not great, but I can get a better charter rate. So you've effectively got to have a crystal ball to say, well, how many times am I going to come up against competition against 2 ships going for the same cargo? And you say to yourself, well, that's probably going to happen maybe 5-6 times. Is it worth spending the extra money now? These are the sort of calculations you've got to think about when you make that investment.